Good evening, church. Welcome back to the lockdown lessons. Let's continue our look at Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8. The text says this: "Finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there is any excellence and if anything worthy of praise, dwell on these things." Today we'll look at our next thing that Paul tells us to spend time thinking about: whatever is pure. The word he uses is hagnos. That's the Greek word, hagnos, which has the same root as another very common New Testament Greek word, hagios. When hagios is the word we see in the New Testament for holy. Hagnos is very similar, and it means pure, but not only pure, but pure from every fault. Hagnos is translated in the New Testament 4 times as pure, 3 times as chaste, and 1 time as clear. Clear as in perfectly clear, meaning with no smudges or defects, like looking through perfectly clear glass or perfectly clear water. No defect, nothing in it whatsoever to make it impure or imperfect. When I think on whatever is pure, my mind instantly is drawn to Jesus, the only example of purity that this world has truly ever seen. What is the effect of my dwelling on the purity of Christ, though? I think that the greatest thing that comes from my dwelling on Jesus is the comparison that I can't help but draw between Jesus and myself. When I make that comparison, I'm instantly stripped of my pride. Who am I compared to Jesus? What is my righteousness compared to his righteousness? Isaiah said it right when he said in Isaiah 64 verse 6, "All of us have become like one who is unclean, and all our righteous deeds are like a filthy garment." Isaiah isn't saying that our righteous deeds are meaningless. And he's not saying that we shouldn't do righteous deeds. He's comparing our righteous deeds to the righteous God. He's saying we can't stand proud before God. When Job was confronted by a holy God, he responded in Job chapter 42, verses 5 and 6 like this: "I have heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye sees you, therefore I retract. I repent in dust and ashes." You see, Job was complaining of his innocence, of his purity to God. But when God spoke, Job instantly saw himself in comparison to that holy God and was left with his pride completely demolished. One final example. When Peter understood that he was face to face with God in the person of Jesus, look at his reaction. Luke chapter 5, verses 4 through 8. Jesus said to Simon, "Put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch." Simon answered and said, "Master, we worked hard all night and caught nothing, but I will do as you say and let down the nets." When they had done this, they enclosed a great quantity of fish, and their nets began to break. So they signaled to their partners in the other boat for them to come and help them. As they came and filled both of the boats, so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw that, he fell down at Jesus' feet, saying, "Go away from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." When Peter understood who Jesus was, he instantly understood how sinful he was in comparison and fell at the feet of Jesus. Church, when we dwell on what is pure, perfectly pure, and think about Jesus, our heart should stir within us a reaction of praise and wonder. Most amazing of all, Jesus was willing to die for us so that we could achieve purity. Through his blood is the only way to stand pure before our holy God. Praise Jesus for loving us enough to do what it took to make us pure before a holy God. Until Sunday morning, Love God and love others. I'm Wes LaFleur signing off.